Hello, JBC family. Welcome to Testimony Tuesday. This is the inaugural edition of this online platform where each Tuesday we're going to present a testimony for you to hear, and hopefully that will encourage you in your faith and in your walk. And also, you'll get to learn a little bit more about your brothers and sisters in Christ at JBC. So for our first edition here is George Slyman. And George, as I will ask everyone each week, what is your testimony?
Well, Mark, I guess we have to go back in the Wayback Machine a little bit on this one. In college, I was just sort of a moral train wreck, having done and tried far too many things. And getting out, I think I had squandered an awful lot of opportunity. Got out into an interesting economy, and was struggling occupationally, was struggling with relationships, kind of making a mess out of some relationships that I had. And I had been brought into an organization where two gentlemen were being, I would say, mentors to me, and they were very instrumental. And they were constantly, dripping on me, trying to get me to come to a Bible study. Why don't you visit our church? It'll be good for you. And I would have these debates with them, in the foyer of the office, talking about this Bible, and I was very convinced that I knew everything at the time. And if you think I'm bad now, I really enjoyed an argument back then. And so I would, having done the biblical theology thing for 2 semesters, I thought, well, I'm familiar with the Bible. I understand what this thing's about. It's dry, it's old, and it's boring. And but eventually, as kind of some of the things that I mentioned wore on me, I actually succumbed, and I went to a Bible study for a number of weeks. I'd come down. Actually, I was working in Vermont, and I would drive down on a Tuesday just to attend this thing. It was probably a 2.5-hour ride each way, and I would go down. And one night there was a gentleman by the name of Paul Anselmi, and Paul got up. Paul was had grown up kind of the same way I had. I was raised in a Catholic faith, and although I knew God, I was just really not terribly serious about my faith. The Bible, as I said, to me was kind of just a textbook, that you used in college, and Jesus was just not anybody. I knew who he was in title only, but I really wasn't personally connected to Christ. And so Paul got up and gave his testimony, and his testimony moved me. And I sat there and I thought, that's exactly what I need. I need that relationship with Christ. I am heading down a path that is just a mess. And that night, I prayed along with Paul and a number of other people, and accepted Christ. And I didn't have a sky opening moment where the lightning flashed in a Moses moment, but I had a deep peace that I had made a very good decision. And as what God used there was my testimony against the Bible. He used to prove to me how it really was, because I opened the Bible and that dusty old book was bizarrely alive to me. It jumped off the page at me, and everything meant something, and there was depth and there was meaning, and it was just sort of this layered onion that you could keep going and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so that's how it started. And I had, as I said, those 2 gentlemen, Jack Hartman, who's gone to be with the Lord since, and Ed Hires, they were on me. They were faithful about being persistent and saying, hey, George, you got to come here, you got to do that. And so we have to do that with people, because let's face it, everybody is wise in their own way. And when we realize that God's wisdom is so much beyond ours, it's refreshing to just get under his authority and his leadership and his forgiveness. Yeah. So that's it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your testimony with us and for kicking off this inaugural Testimony Tuesday here that we're going to try to do each Tuesday during, at least during the crisis that's going on. But hopefully, if it takes off, we'll do it some more. So, again, thanks, George. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you for watching Testimony Tuesday, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.